Hello, gamers. Once again, I just say hello, my friend, like what Estes say. But here we are. We're back in the True International Seasons 2 stage. Swiss stage, like we said, and it's going to be day number 5. We're still in the brackets where there is a 2-0, which means the winning streak teams are going to be playing. So tonight match, we got Cosmic Frogs versus KK Esports, Indonesia versus Laos. And of course, we're not going to be alone. We're gonna be joined by the one and only reliable Ray, our Superman for today. Can you flex that Superman because it's looking kind of fine, bro?
I would have worn something like of a t-shirt if it wasn't like basically the sun's temperature in my city over here right now. I mean, I would have joined you on that drip and everything. I mean, someday I plan to even do the, this iconic move thing, but how can I do it when I can't even wear anything above it? But yeah, jokes aside, obviously love to be joining you again, Bolty. Of course, we've already casted multiple tournaments and finally we're here in True Internationals as well. So yeah, it's a very good fortune and loving your background over here, man. You could have put in blade armor for obvious reasons, but no, you want to counter me.
Yep.
Next time I'm gonna put. I don't need divine glaive. My Zushin got her own penetration, if you get what I mean. So overall, I'm looking forward to, of course, these two teams. After all, they have faced no defeats yet, so they are paired up against each other. That only means that we will right now see one of them face their first loss in this round.
Very much true. And the first loss, they're still going to be stuck in that Swiss brackets. But if whoever is lucky enough to win this match, they move on to the playoff brackets. And that is where you're like set. No more, quick elimination unless you're going to lose that BO3. But it's not going to be as punishing like the Swiss stage because it's like a best of one series where if you lose, I mean, you can come back from the lower brackets, but then again, it's kind of like weird. The Swiss bracket is like a very punishing, I should say. But yes. Right now, seems like our player are still ping testing, but as of now, Ray, I know you've casted, was it yesterday or day before yesterday with wands?
Yeah, I think the day before yesterday, day before yesterday I casted with wands, yes. Yesterday I casted with Debbie, and yeah. I have casted for Cosmic Frogs. I haven't got the chance to cast for KK Esports though, so I'm looking forward to how they do. I have casted for one Laos team, if I'm not wrong. It was... I forgot their name. I'm sorry, but the performance from Laos was also great. They were actually able to win out against Philippines. So looking forward to how they do. Indonesia as well, of course, Cosmic Fox. I think they won that day. Yeah, that's the whole reason they are 2-0. Yeah, both of these teams are 2-0 brackets, but because they have one wins against Philippines, if I'm not wrong. So looking forward to how they perform against each other, mainly because I think the meta right now is a little bit restrictive, but at the same time, I do want to see something very interesting, out of pocket, out of hand, like we were discussing. I'm waiting to see a Freya jungle right now. I've already seen the Yushin Shin, even in Indian subcontinent server right now. He's being pretty top pick, no longer something that is underrated, which is funny because he was not buffed, adjusted or anything. It's just that other junglers fell down, so people were like, hey, we need someone new. So they went back to the good old reliable, the Korean admiral, not the general, admiral.
Yep, Yishin Shin, right, Mr. Let me just not. I'll just try to call him like Hoon or maybe General. But as you said, he's not a general; he's an admiral. So we're gonna leave that aside. But yes, in this previous match against Laos, what is that? Leon Mufasa and Fusion Esports. Yes, both teams have got that win streak, but like you said, Laos is a pretty decent team, especially Leon Mufasa. They just beat them. They just outdrafted them like it's nothing. And yep, it seems like Fusion Esports, they even banned the Yishin Shin. Like in the first ban, it was very targeted towards their gold laner Alex, which definitely, of course, got that MVP again in that previous match. Yes, like we said, the Yishin Shin is definitely rising the ranks. But as for other, heroes, what do you think about the Uranus right now? Because he was actually playing in that previous match.
I think Uranus, Uranus is sorry. Sometimes your tongue gets twisted when you're trying to pronounce something, right? So Uranus over here, I feel like his healing capabilities, right? I think he and Yu Zhong sit at the same place. Their healing has basically substantially improved. So especially for Uranus is different because of course he can just stack up right now with his basic attack or anything, right? Even skills or anything, he can stack up so he can stay healthy. But the thing is that he still has the same weaknesses. He's still prone to burst. He's still prone to armor shredding. So even though he's great, his sustainability has increased like tenfold. He still has the same weaknesses, so I would really recommend for anybody who's picking it, make sure you don't think that he's not invincible. Of course, unless you want to get a feeding streak. But overall, I think he still kind of is getting dwarfed a little bit by the Lapu Lapu right now. Lapu is definitely the top EXP lane pick, and Sanford is definitely happy because we remember, right? Yeah. I think Lapu main priority pick. If Lapu is banned out or picked, Uranus comes in second, but at the same time you still have my guy Phobius, still strong, still can sustain so much. So it's a good, and right about Uranus speaking, they actually go in with the Uranus ban. They don't really want any of the nuisance he can create, which is understandable. Why make a trade-off when you can just ban and go for something else, right?
Exactly. And we were talking about Phobius, and yes, Phobius is finally, after ages, gonna get that Starlight Kin. I'm pretty sure this coming July. Hopefully we can save up some diamonds for that, dialectic kind of skin that they're gonna give him. But yes, of course, we're in the drafting phase, like Ray already said. And once again, Hayabusa tuned down in the jungle. Most assassin junglers are kind of tuned down, but it seems like Cosmic Frogs are still gonna pay their respects to KK Esports, banning out the Hayabusa. And speaking of Hayabusa, the lore even changed. This time, Team Hanabi, I'm with Scared Yet here. We win.
I think, currently the assassins are in such a weird place because they have toned down the fighter junglers quite a bit. So because of it, you have basically Lucas decent, but not the strongest pick anymore. You're not going to first pick a Lucas, right? Then also the other fighter, Suyo, got really hit hard, and right now he's not being picked that much anymore either. So the fighters being off the meta, it is giving the window for the assassins to come and rise, and few adjustments have been made. You have Nolan coming in. That day I saw Quantum Satoru Alpha also picking it up, destroying their opponents. And who else was it? And Lancelot is kind of good. His damage department is still kind of bad. Takes really time to farm up. So that's that. And other than that, you have the Yushin Shin, and the Hayabusa has been nerfed, but people still find him very comfortable. And of course, his damage has been nerfed, but his mobility still relies the same on, and he's really good at, going for the backline and flanking. So makes sense. So this meta right now, I feel like the jungle is very weirdly chaotic, where you can pick anything, it will decently do well. But honestly, what is currently overpowered right now for sure, it's gonna be I'm gonna be honest with you, it's definitely the Fredrin. I feel like his presence in the meta is really crazily strong, especially if you combine it with someone, obviously a support. Matilda, I don't think she's gonna be seeing a light of the day until she gets nerfed to oblivion, and when that happens, nobody's gonna pick her either. So that's a contradictory situation. But overall, the Rafaela's also amazing right now, and I feel like not a lot of South Asian teams are picking it up. Perhaps they don't find a healer meta that comfortable to play in, but we'll see. I would love to see a Fredrin and Rafaela coming into action again, and I feel like they play a massive part. Yesterday we did see Peak to Plummet make it work with the Estes. They were winning until the last moment where Fredrin and Estes got separated, and that's how they lost. But overall, obviously, let's focus into the present. I think we're just gonna be seeing the Granger coming in, and let me tell you, yesterday Skyzen from Peak, oh my god, that boy alone, maniac in just like 10 minutes or so. It is crazy. So I think Granger, this guy is still a menace, and I'm low-key getting tired of this. 3 seasons, this guy still top marksman. How does this even happen? But there we go. We're going to be seeing the Kimi Granger, and of course the Kapot being followed in. I would say these are few comfort picks, because these are more previous season-y, right? But we'll see how it works out. Okay, a Farsa after the Gato. That's interesting from the hands of KK.
Yeah, you know, right? You know what happens when you pick Farsa against a Gatot. The AOG comes in flying just when you press that ultimate button. Feathered airstrike, more like AOG. You got airstrike. Wow, that was not even nice. But anyways, like we've said, Man, Granger has been nerfed consecutive times, and he's still like top marksman for some reason. Man, could you tell us what happened to a Granger? Because I don't know, his damage always got, not that he's damaged, but his dash, his ultimate range, and the ability to kind of reveal people inside the bush. But still, he's still out there getting the love from the pro players when it comes to damage and just absolutely snowballing. Like you said, Sky's an even snowball getting a maniac, right?
Yeah, I think it's the main thing is that the damage. For a marksman, you can like nerf a lot of things, okay? You can nerf everything, but until you touch the damage department, they're not going to be affected. Because we remember, right, Claude in primetime days, first of all, his second skill, you could BMI back and forth, like you could basically literally outplay the opponents 100 times. Of course, you had humongous amounts of shield. Claude could basically do 1 versus 5 because he got a lot of shield back amount of damage he dealt. He also got more attack speed by obviously stealing from his first skill. He had so much utility, but all of them were nerfed, toned down severely. And right now the Claude we have is basically extremely watered down version of the one that they released. But still, he was still being picked until I feel like the season before, previous season, because of his damage. He just dealt obnoxiously high damage, but of course ultimately he fell down because Kimmy, Granger, Airtel, they climbed up. Of course the Harith as well, and because of it we can clearly see the difference, right? But the Granger, only thing they've affected is of course dash range, map visibility, repositioning things from his ultimate. Those things are slight adjustments that once you have practice enough, you can just get it into go. So until they touch the damage, the scaling, until they make sure his late game damage doesn't hit that much, I think he's not leaving the meta anytime soon. Or maybe we will see the new hero take over him, like the new marksman that would be coming in soon. But overall, draft is finished and we are in the adjustment set, and finally we're going to be seeing the Lancelot. But I'm going to be honest with you, Bolty, I'm not favored of the Joy because I feel like she has like 3 losses so far since I've casted. So it has been a lose streak for this little Leonin, and let's see how it works out tonight.
Yeah, I have faith in Cosmic Frog at least, because these guys, there's something else. Win streak, but both teams have gotten that win streak to get to this bracket. But here we are, the land of Dawn. True International Season 2 Swiss stage once again. Graphic transition into the fray. And here we are, Cosmic Frog onto the blue side and KK Esports on the red side. It's Indonesia versus Laos once again. And it seems like Ray here can start cracking those analysis.
Definitely, I'll start doing the analysis completely. It's the score sits at 0-0. No, nothing much yet. Just obviously the poke game that's gonna happen, of course, because of the Kimmy over here. But overall, I'm really interested to see the Granger versus Airtel matchup, because a lot of the times Granger just snowballs out of control until the Airtel can bounce back in the later phases of the game. So let's see if it's going to be happening, or sometimes so Airtel getting a window of opportunity can easily overwhelm. Already we're seeing an invasion that's coming in by Chow all alone, but nothing much overall. I think at least in the XP lane department though, we can see a clear winner. That is the Lapu Lapu. But what's happening? Chow, better watch out.
Yep, better watch out, right? It's a Roblox, man. Yeah, I never bought Robux, but I actually want it. But as for now, that is gonna be a very safe invade, I should say. It could have been a very, capitalizing, because if they can take, if Roblox can steal that red buff to the hands of Ren, it could have been so much for KK Esports, but they're just gonna leave that for now. The turtle will be spawning in like a matter of 20 seconds, but top side, we might be getting a fight here. We're seeing Ren popping out electrifying beats, and Roblox getting caught in the fray, and the first blood falls to the hands of Cosmic Frogs. And with that, they can pretty much, I feel like, win this turtle fight.
And there we go. Right now, puts us 1-0, and that puts them slightly into the edge. Cosmic Frogs, obviously having a coach really helps in discipline and maintaining and everything, right? But overall, just like I mentioned, the turtle fight can change things around, because Lancelot is one of those assassins that really excels at stealing everything. The only thing he cannot steal is his Odin from the Johnson, but usually let's see onto the top lane, an engage coming in.
Yup, fisting coming out, but not enough because lifestyle here with that raging bravest fighter. But no, not QT. Wolfman want to shut him down, fist him out of the land of dawn. But with that being said, it seems like Cosmic Frogs are looking strong as they are in that true kill, leaderboard, and they're looking for the sweet turtle.
Sweet turtle soup over here. Let's see. The Chow wants to go in.
Oh, look at that. Phantom Execution to get that turtle. And there's going to be more. Shing, shing, shing. Baby Shiba, on the other hand, gets the Ren. But that is going to be good night for both of the teams. But the fact that KK Esports secures that retribution, that is definitely going to put them back in the lead, or hopefully.
I told you, man, Lancelot is just really great at stealing. And that is something that the Cosmic Frogs have to keep in mind. Okay, let's look at the itemization. Most of them are building towards, obviously, the first one. Mages are prioritizing their anti-heals, while, Ranger is going in for a Hunter Strike. Not really prioritize, like, obviously going for the damage first. I'm actually curious because in Indian subcontinent, what really happens is some Rangers like to prioritize the Skypiercer because they're confident, They know they're gonna get kills. Other Rangers, they like to prioritize the 2 damage items. It's Hunter Strike always first, then it's Malefic Roar. They want to make sure that the tank is not being obnoxious completely, right? Yeah. So because of it, I want to see how they do, but into the bot lane, a lot of poking left and right. But so far, there's the ultimate for Baby Shiba. They still has the Feather Airstrike on gold ranking. Granger is doing really great, but Airtel they are doing a little bit of back and forth, and that is going to be mattering a lot into the later phases.
Yep, absolutely. But there is a fight going on between 2 junglers of both nations. But of course, they're going to back out because they're still not very healthy in terms of damage department. They have it let off. But finally, like you said, the Retail finally get that lead over the Granger until Apen on the other hand comes in, show himself, and it's for Dark Baby to just, say goodnight.
Into the mid lane, the river area, they have been poking each other out a lot. Okay, Cassus Claw for Dark Baby over here, so a little bit of sustenance, but needs the damage to, of course, regenerate back. Right now, the main target looks like, at this point, they're obviously trying to take down Baby Shiba, but they're not really able to find any angle. But Chow over here just poking out as much as resources he can possibly do, but the turtle fight looks like it's going to be on, and this time around, the gold laners will join this engage. Even the Lapu Lapu goes in with the bravest fighter.
That's the Land Shaker, and top it off with a Raging Slash, but didn't quite get that third hit. That's a Traction Pulse towards 2, and that is Dark Baby getting the Fister. And that is 1 down to the hands of Cosmic Frogs, I should say. But Robix, you know how time it is. Still getting that turtle. Baby Shiba takes out Elpin as well. That is 2 deaths. And also, they have the turtle on their hands. KK Esports looking healthy, disciplined as ever. AOG is going to drop here to try to save that tier 1. Yes, they did save it, but for how long?
I think so far the game has been a little bit of push and pull, and I definitely told you the fact that Joy's presence right now in the meta is just not that strong. But one thing she can obviously do is go in for Baby Shiba, as well as the fact that she can even dish out the damage to Lifestyle, because a Lifestyle obviously has to prioritize physical damage, right? Defense, because he needs to make sure that he can go for a Kratz because mainly he's the backliner right now. But at the same time, if they decide, hey, Robinx, you can decide to take down the back lane flank, and now I'm just going to be on the front trying to tank everything up, he can just go full magic defense, and that would also affect how the Joy will have to prioritize her building right now. But okay, Chow has been trying to do engages, but this Badang each time just punches back like, hey, get away from us, we don't want any of your kicking business over here. Okay, Wind Talker bought for that Airtel. That is pretty hefty. Xing Xing over here, mid lane, looking a little bit very dicey. It's already getting toned down, but okay, Krat is one of those Rangers that is confident, that can get kills, and has gotten the Skypiercer. Will probably build towards the Malefic Roar next. But let's see. For a second, I thought the Gatot name was Ray. So I was like, hey, why am I playing? Why am I there? I should be over here. Gatot, make sure you get the blade armor. Really, because you need to make sure that Dark Baby is not dishing out the damage that much soon. Because most of the damage, of course, it's physical. But okay, top lane, the junglers duking it out. But what's happening in the river area? Ray. What happened to you, man?
Ray gets taken out. Of course, the blade armor to not only kind of make useful in this current fight that we're seeing, but also to pay a tribute to Wands, of course. And yes, the turtle spawns, and is gonna be another turtle skirmish, or is it just gonna be that one-sided to the side of KK Esports? Because it seems like they're invading or denying Ren's jungle again. Here comes Electrifying Beast. Finally, the Sagittarius in position to nuke them down. But no, Lifestyle. He is just tanking and just threading through this backline formation or front line. As you say, just flickered out as well. But the turtle is untouched, so that just leaves open space for Cosmic Frog to kind of contest.
I think. Bottom lane though.
No, and that is Mr. Way of the Dragon just dropping in Roblox. Finally get the Way of the Dragon that he needs as well. But it seems like Dark Bell almost said Belly is actually baby here, because Ree on the other hand, misses that flicker one. That is gonna kind of punish him. Yes, then QD falls to the feathered airstrike of Baby Shiva and Baby Dark as well. They're getting they're sharing kills, I just say, one-on-one, and still to the favor of KK Esports as they're going and moving towards that Lord. It seems like the Lapu is kind of soloing this out. This just shows how much of a buff Lapu this is, trying to solo this Lord.
Okay, heal ranking, that is insane. How is Joy out sustaining a
Lifesteal, maybe?
Lapu? Yeah, that is the lifesteal ranking, right? Like how much you're regaining back. Yeah. How is the Joy doing that? That is insane. Like,
crazy.
We're talking about Lapu, but Joy really said, like, I'm better. Overall, Ren, you gotta teach us the ways. But looking at the scoreboard of 2-7 right now, KK Esports are the ones leading with 5,000 gold lead right now at the under 10 minutes. And they are chunking down the turrets as well, because you can clearly see the mid lane. It's gonna be gone, but looks like this could be a possible engage, because Cosmic Frog, they look to be hungry for a few kills.
That is Lance here going with a Xing Kyrie and almost grabbing the kill, but Dark Baby, too much damage, burst him down. No blade armor for Gatot yet still, that's why he gets bursted down. And also some Holy Grails being spent actually onto the top side, and there is a Lord marching down on bot. This is looking really feisty for Cosmic Frog, because if they don't take this Lord out before they can start the team fight, it's gonna cost them a lot.
Absolutely, Bolty, because right now they have already lost down the mid tier 1. They have lost tier 2 on the top lane, which is basically makes their inhibitor very vulnerable right now. They're gonna possibly lose out the bottom. Look at the damage that's coming in from this Irithel. It looks like they want to go in for a possible engage right now. Tier 2 lost in their bottom lane as well. The Holy Defense will make sure that their turret will stay safe. Yep, there we go. It's gonna go poof, and there we go. It's gonna be safe. But that's basically 2 inhibitors exposed, and then Xing for Robinks.
Yeah, Mr. Xing there didn't actually try to make those very flashy plays, but no minions means no more flashy plays. But instead, it seems like KK are trying to look for this tier 2, but also Cosmic Frog are in position. Ren also kind of camping there to kind of get the back line. The AOG comes in, the kick comes in as well. That is a Dark Baby getting the kill on Badang. Also, some Rhapsody coming up, shutting down Roblox, and that's Kimmy stuck in the lifestyle. Just repeating myself just to make myself cool, but that is a Phantom Execution out of there. And Dark Baby, this guy is on the lead, 5-0-2, grabs that Malefic gun, and for more kills, if you can look at the items.
I think they are almost done with it. Yeah, there we go. The Granger's building towards his last 2 in slot. Kimi though very far behind, only 2 items in. That is very difference in the goal right now in the department, but at least she is matching the pace of the Lapu, who's also 2 itemization. The Irithel and the Granger are basically the most ahead. You can clearly see 4 items in for that Irithel. That is absolute insanity. Just the most amount of gold ranking, 9,000. That is crazy, because overall, if you look at the gold ranking, it's only 5k for the Kimi, which is not good at all. I know she's a mid laner, but she obviously has better laning compared to the Farsa. But what can the laning strength really do when you're really getting zoned out completely, not really able to go out for clearing any waves? Overall, the Farsa's also building towards the 3rd item, so she's doing much better. And I think that item disparity will clearly show in the team fights, because the Irithel's damage is going to be the main source of obviously the engage, and it looks like the side of KK Esports will win it out on the theory, unless they're able to do something for Dark Baby. But I don't think it's going to be possible. They don't have any pick-off heroes. The only one they have is Nang on the Badang, Okay, nangon badang. All right.
Yep, nang on
But
badang kind of rhymes itself there. Actually, of course, Ray likes to rhyme at the same time, dropping some puns, right? So for now, he tried to do something, kind of works. I think he's a much better dad joke cracker than me, I should say.
I mean, I'm not a dad though. Don't worry. I'm not even married. So
Hey, yo.
overall, possible engagement in.
That's a good kick as well, coming in from Roblox. They were almost able to take out the defensive or evasive AOG, finally stopping them from getting the kill to Guitar. But here comes the flashy Robings here. It seems like that Lord on the top lane also looking healthy. Their Cosmic Frogs are looking to take this down because that is 2 inhibitor cracked down the nutshell. And that is only 1 inhibitor standing to the side of Cosmic Frogs. This could most likely fall unless Nung does something, or Ren here trying to go for the solo kill, but no, Dark Baby strafes it out with a heavy crossbow. Destroy Ren. 1-3-2 for Ren, and it's looking like Roblox once again trying to go for the Jikundo. Pops that immortality. AOG nowhere to be found, but it's gonna be Ray. Oh, why did I say Ray? He gets killed and lifestyle killing spree. Look at that, 3 members falls at 3-1, but it seems like this is so over because KK Esports have taken pure dominance, but Crazy on the other hand gets that shutdown, but a shutdown too late at the cost of their crystal.
Yeah, ultimately, KK Esports will win it out this time around, 0-1, and of course, it is pretty amazing that they were able to get such a great victory, and I'm obviously looking forward. We have a post-match interview with them, right? KK Esports.
That is very much true because we saw a glimpse of KK Esports. They are well equipped. I'm seeing 4 gaming chairs, bruh. These guys are really working. They have to show promising fruits because if they're sponsored, oh yeah. Look at that. Don't worry, Ray. That is a pro level god tier gaming because I'm pretty sure it has like holes in the back, right? That's for air ventilation because you don't want to sweat it out. So
it's
pro
Virgil
racer.
chair, bro. It's Virgil chair. It's motivated chair over here.
Indeed.
And
here
hello,
we are.
KK Esports.
Yep, indeed. Dark Baby on the scene. Iritel MVP, I'm pretty sure. How's it going, man? Right, Ray, you're pretty good at asking questions. This is where I'm gonna say it's your time to shine because I just butchered the previous interview. I dragged it too long. The fact that the players are like, they want to show kindness, right? But they were like, I don't get what you're saying, bro.
รู้สึกดีอะไรคุณยูพูดอะไรกันแล้วกัน
Okay, I mean, it's a pleasure to be seeing the players because, of course, in our region, the players are usually living far away apart, so they don't get to play together. So it's not common. It's extremely rare you'd see the players together. So it's really nice to see you guys from Team Laos, obviously having the synergy and having to play together, and of course, loving the gaming chairs over here. And your performance was great. So obviously, I think we'd ask you some questions, but anything you want to say, obviously, statement, and in your native language as well, you can pass it out to your audience and your fans. Obviously, you can go ahead right now. Are we audible? Hope we are.
I mean, you're audible to me, Ray.
จะยังไง
Language gap real?
อย่างฝากถึงเขาบอกฝากถึงผู้ชม
ก็ฝากถึงกองเชียร์อย่าลืมมาเชียร์ KK Esports หลายๆเดือน
Okay. I think because of course there's a difference in language, there's a little bit of obviously it's hard to communicate, but I love to see your performance. I'm from India, and it was really nice seeing you guys' performance on obviously true internationals, and of course facing against a team that has a coach as well. Your draft was much better. So you guys went in for, of course, the Lancelot, and obviously what was it? Your Airtel, right? This is the Airtel.
Yeah.
So
Dark
obviously
Baby.
in Dark Baby, I think what I would ask you is against the Granger, right? The Granger is right now the strongest. What would you pick if, let's say, the Airtel was banned out? A very simple question.
นอกจากที่คุณจำอย่าง
นอกจากเชียร์จับมือเขียนเชียร์ยังไม่ได้เขียน
Okay.
คินก่อน
อ๋อโอเค5 ลิตร
Harris.
Parrot. no.
Okay. All right. I wish I had Google Translator right now. I will learn your language and I'll be back in a few weeks. I will at least learn the basics one because it would be pretty great. But overall,
Yeah.
I think I would love to ask you guys obviously more fun questions. But I think, of course, there's a little bit of obviously communication gap because of the language differences. But I think that's what makes us beautiful because obviously we're human beings and we come from different nations, and it's what really makes it more beautiful. But I would have more questions if I could obviously ask you. But the only thing I would definitely want to say is like, we love you guys. I hope that's last question. What team are you looking forward to facing in the Swiss stage?
จะทีมไหนจะเข้าทีมไหน
Playoff stage.
Oh, playoff stage, yeah. Because next is playoff. You are 3-0, yeah.
ทีมใดก็ได้ก็ได้
Clean sweep, guys.
Clean sweep.
อยากเข้าทีมไหนครับไป
โอ้ทีมไหนก็ได้บ่ติทีมไหนก็ได้
เลออนอีสปอร์ต
Leon. All right.
I want to see he
in final match.
What team was that? Bolty
It's Leon Esports.
Oh,
the previous
Leon
match
Mufasa.
winners. I think
Okay.
it's brothers versus brothers we're talking about because they're always gonna fight
Okay.
for that last food on the table, right? So brotherhood clashing in the family.
We love to see it. And thank you, obviously, KK Sports, for coming over here. And anything else?
แล้วครับโอเค thank you
thank you
Thank you. Next time I would use Google Translator for sure. ChatGPT gonna save my behind for sure. It's
Save
got my
once. Right.
You know,
that's the
I
interview.
low-key love doing interviews where we cannot communicate, but we are kind of understanding each other.
Yeah.
Because we are getting the vibe and essence. They're
Yep.
obviously chill dudes, but it's kind of hard to obviously communicate the nuances and obviously what specifically we mean. And obviously we were translating the message to them and they were translating it back to us, and that's how we were able to get it. Bolty caught it first overall. Next time I'm gonna make sure I got Mark Zuckerberg over here translating it on lifetime or something.
Hey,
Because,
yo.
hey, come on, like showcase your technology or something. But overall, this was there we go. The
Yep.
man we just saw on the screen got the MVP as well, 602. Damage participate. Oh, okay. He goes in for a solo emblem. That is
Yeah.
interesting. He really wanted to win that lane against Granger, didn't he? Like
Yep.
no risk. I'm gonna make sure that I win the lane, and he did. That is very impressive.
Yeah, and speaking of this Master Assassin, even the previous match in Leon Mufasa, Alex even brought this thing. I'm pretty sure. Was it the wait? What was he? Oh, he used the Bruno and he used the Master Assassin, and yes, he get so much kills out of that, even win. But the other, the opponent's team, they didn't feed because they picked that Moskov. It was a 1-0-0 on the Moskov hand. So I don't know. Something's happening there.
I think it's mainly because it got slightly adjusted. Maybe I haven't checked it yet. I've mainly checked the heroes, but I'll have to check it myself. I haven't been active on the game that much, of course. Couldn't get the time to do so, but looks like it's time to get back into the grind, boy. And overall,
Yep.
602, 106. I think this was a great performance from KK Esports, and honestly, I definitely think the joy is just not that strong right now, or maybe she's carrying a curse in this true international. There are heroes, okay? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if you believe it or not, but there are heroes that get cursed in some tournaments, and they have the lowest win rates. And Joy right now, I feel like she's one of them. Okay, Rich Gaia and the carry both go into the hand for, of course, Dark Baby. He's definitely very light baby right now, for sure. But Sandbag, Rie, and Best Wingman, all
Rie.
of the members got it from the hands of KK Esports. Yesterday, it was funny enough, Peak to Plummet at 3 slots. The carry, Sandbag, and Best Wingman. It was all Peak to Plummet, despite the fact LCF won. Pretty crazy, isn't it? They were
Yes,
basically
sir.
kicking the game until last minute, until where the team fight changed. And I honestly, I want to see a game like that again, because today's game, I would definitely say this was very dominant by KK Esports. And I'm very impressed. Laos teams have been very strong so far. Like, obviously overtaking Indonesian and Philippine teams. I think they haven't faced Malaysian yet, right?
I'm pretty sure they haven't.
Okay, so I'm looking forward to the Malaysian engage as well, and I think that's going to be really interesting overall. But of course, the match right now has been done for Cosmic Frogs and KK Esports. KK Esports getting a clean sweep into the playoff stages, and obviously they're going to face off against Leon Mufasa, and we're looking forward. And Cosmic Frogs will stay in the Swiss stages, battling it out in the 2-1 bracket, and we will see what teams they faced, of course, when we do the next draw. But overall, I think this game was a little bit laid back though, because I feel like there was great discipline from both ends, right? Because I think they didn't go for many unnecessary engages. They only went in engages where they possibly could, and there was really great disengages from the Badang, but ultimately the Chow's pickoffs and a lot of the times the Airtel solo damage taking over and they having no response ultimately lost the game. But wishing the best to Cosmic Frogs, and let's see if they can come out of the Swiss stages in the next round, or they're gonna go for 2-4-2 maybe, because you never know, right? What teams they're gonna face against, because we are stacked in the competition department. So yeah, Bolte, that's about it from me.
Yep. And speaking of facing the two teams that are going to be facing, of course, in the next match is going to be Icy Paradise and 7C Esports, both Bhutanese, okay, both Bhutan teams, and of course it's gonna be that brotherhood class like what Leon Mufasa or Laos team were actually looking forward to. But it's gonna be the losing bracket stage, the 2-0 I'm pretty sure, or the 0-2 I should say. And yes, if they don't make it out, if they lost once this time, anybody who lost in this lower bracket, they're finally gonna say their goodbyes, their virtual airports. So we don't want that to happen. Hopefully, even if look, it's like a family session, right? At least one of the sibling will go up and one of the sibling kind of goes down. So either way, we don't want that to happen. But hopefully, any one of these, very very talented individuals can make it. Make their nation or country proud as well. So with that being said, guys, this is me in the casting desk, Bolty and Ray, or self-proclaimed Zushin's husband and our Superman for this, game match number 2. Hey,
I am verified. I have a merit certificate. But yeah, jokes aside, of course, thank you for everyone to tune in, and we'll see you guys on the next match. Icy Paradise versus 7Cs. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the True Internationals. And we're going to be jumping straight into the last match of the evening. Yes, the fourth match won't be happening, but this third one will happen. And this is the 0-2 bracket. So the team that will get defeated tonight will have to say goodbye to the competition. We'll have to wait for the next time. And of course, one will still persist and stay in the Swiss stages to fight and battle out for the 3-pointers to qualify for the playoffs. Leon Mufasa, and of course we just saw another Laos team, KK Esports, already qualifying with a clean sweep. Let's see which next team is going to be persisting and staying in the competition. Overall, I'm going to be your caster, Ray, and I'm joined by this static lady over here tonight. She's not going to be 3D, she's going to be a 2D still image. Debbie, welcome back to True Internationals.
Yeah, it was good. It's good to be back here again, and not surprising at all, because we did the draw yesterday night and we got Putin's teams together in the 0-1 brackets. It's gonna be interesting one, because for both of these teams it's gonna be a do or die. So yeah, they're gonna have to play their all, and I don't think they will be, they will be having a little bit of a comfort as well, because these two teams, I think they will be understanding each other more than any other team. So, you know what, I think it's gonna be a
homeland advantage.
Yeah, homeland advantage also. But yeah, a little bit of a understanding of each other is gonna be there, right? Because if you are here, there might have been the top two teams that could make it there.
Absolutely, because after all, they are basically the top teams from right now Bhutan, competing against the other international teams right now, and they're obviously going to be competing against the Indian teams that are still persisting, and I'm looking forward to that, because I remember I think, yeah, LCF did say they want to meet with the Bhutanese teams, right? So looking forward to those competitions, and the one that will stay strong tonight will be able to obviously get into that competition. After all, this is still the 0-2 brackets, ladies and gentlemen, so unfortunately, I'm repeating it again just to make sure that the defeated team tonight, we will have to say goodbye. This will be the end of the journey, but the winner will still stay in the competition in the Swiss stages. And just to let you guys know, obviously Leon Mufasa as well as team KK Esports Laos, they have already made it into the playoff stages, waiting for the other teams to catch up, and it's going to be really nice. The Bhutanese teams, though, I think we're very familiar with them in the sense that their meta is very, very closely related to the Indian subcontinent, because, of course, having nearby, they share, they often meet each other, as well as the fact that yes, they have well-recognized squads, so they know how the meta works in that continent. We'll probably see the Granger interaction being prioritized again, as well as the Baksha, which we did not see in the previous game. We did see the Granger, but we did not see the Baksha. So let's see how this one is going to go. And I'm also looking forward to something out of pick, but I feel like we're probably going to be seeing a Fredrin or a Yushin Shin coming into the jungle as well, Debbie.
Yep, Yushin Shin. I think the last time we have seen Yushin Shin under the hands of KK Esports, they were managing it so well that he was able to do stuff, and ending it under 10 minutes also it's amazing. But you know, I think it's solely dependent on the teams in the early game. So Yushin Shin, if it can appear into the hands of Bhutan's team, I think it will be very situational. But they all have to vote to the last part so that they will be able to get it there on time. So maybe, just maybe, we might see it. You know, the assassin might actually be used to try to counter the Yushin Shin much more easier. You know, against the fighter jungle, though, I think the Yushin Shin is gonna be good.
I think Yushin Shin is a very... Overall, I feel like the jungler is in a very weird spot somehow. Overall, the seasons, his performance has been remaining highest, though. He is one of the highest winner junglers in all time, actually, because he's somehow in the mythic ranking. He's always performing the best. Even in tournament scenario, I've noticed that he has a very high win rate, and I think it's mostly because the way you play around the Yushin Shin is to prioritize the farming. Obviously, as a jungler, you prioritize the farming, and Yushin Shin excels at it the most. Securing the objectives, he has the immunity, so he doesn't really get exactly like CC'd the most either. And I think the best advantage that he has is the map hacks. His ultimate basically can provide so much vision that can be very crucial. You counter out the Luoi, any possible engages that could be coming from a bush, you can basically sniff it out. And also, I feel like when you start playing around Yushin Shin, you also get a little bit of a better map sense because you know where they are located, right? Eventually, I've noticed this. Yushin Shin mains, their map prediction ability is a lot better because, of course, they technically have the legal map hack, right? So I am looking forward to for a Yushin Shin, of course. But overall, talking about Louis, we haven't been seeing her that much, right? Current mages, I feel like we've been seeing the Farsa, the Sicilian, and the Kimi quite a bit. I really want to see Kadita and the Lilia coming back in action.
Yeah, I think Kadita is definitely going to be out there, especially against the Farsa. I think it's going to be really, really good to pick out the Kadita. It kind of counters out any squishy backlines, especially a hero and immobile when she ults like the Farsa. She's going to be requiring the Purify most of the time, and I think that's, even with the change up with Kadita, you will not be able to cancel her ultimate to any kind of CC except for suppression. So this just means that Kadita is going to be more popularized most of the time right now because she's an insta-burst mage, and into the early game also she have a lot of value, and the clearance also it's getting better. It might not be the best in comparison to the Farsa, but when it comes to those bursty days, it's gonna be Kadita having the greatest time. So this time around, I think if Kadita appears in the opponent's side of the Farsa, I think the Farsa has to be a little bit considerate or how the ultimate is gonna be utilized as well. So I think that is gonna be it can be a little bit of a soft counter for the Farsa as well. And I've had seen the Kadita also appearing, but it's very situational too. But now I think she can be at least prioritized because most of the time when there's assassin to the other side, the Kadita does really, really well against them too in comparison to other mages.
Absolutely, mainly because right now she already had the CC immunity, and right now she also has the non-interruption, which is really great because this was one of the biggest weaknesses of Kadita that has been bothering me for almost 5 years right now, which is insane because I feel like she should have been buffed very, very long time ago. But I understand it because I remember she was very meta during the MPL Philippines, of course. It was which season I forgot, but yeah, she was extremely meta as a roamer, and even then with the interruption thing, she was still very a top pick. But of course, we will see if she comes in action or not. Because ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the last match of the evening. It's going to be Icy Paradise versus 7 Seas Esports. And both of them are going to be facing off against each other in this best of 1 series Swiss stage. Do or die situation over here. 0-2 brackets. The defeated will have to say goodbye to their journey into internationals. And of course, let's see how it works out. Both of the teams are Bhutanese and they have the homeland advantage, and it's pretty funny, Debbie, that we have been casting for like somehow you and me, we are getting the matches that are basically homeland each time.
Yeah, we casted for Indians, and now we're going to be casting for the Bhutan teams as well. And yep, the bands are still up, and it's highly similar to the bands that we are actually used to, because the Bhutan going away as well as the Bugs and the Hayabusa is like, there's just, at this point I think this is just a deny from 7cc Esports too, because they are onto the red side. You just do not want to give away the hero that Icy Paradise are going to be really comfortable on, and it has to be the Hayabusa, because I think Icy Paradise does play well when they have a Hayabusa onto their side or any kind of assassin too, but the Bugs with the flexes that he still have, even with the little bit of a tone down that of a nerf that he received, I think it's still a valid choice. But when I think onto the first pick side, Zelda won. So I think they just do not want to play the Matilda for the side of Icy Paradise.
So I kind of see it why they would want to do it, but at the same time, yeah, it can bring a little bit of confusion. Like, why would you not want to keep the Matilda open? But I feel like this has been really a common thing for Indian subcontinent teams, especially, of course, the Bhutanese teams as well. They love their Granger. They absolutely love their Granger. I mean, of course, the snowball ability that you can get, the stackability with the Sky Piercer, and the poking range is the strongest in all of the marksmen. It's hard to not take it. And they know if they picked up the Matilda, it is very possible that 7 Seas Esports would have picked it up for themselves. So maybe they wanted to make sure that the trade-off will pay off them so much more better. But overall, let's see what the response is coming back from 7Seas Esports. Expecting to see a Farsa right now immediately because they have picked up the Katot Kacha. So let's see. But no, it's gonna be the Selena Gomez. Not the Gomez one. This is the Elven one. Interesting choice.
They are actually baiting out onto the Farsa too.
Born by thy
It's
wish.
too early to go for the
Thy lantern's light.
Sometimes you usually
Oh!
get the TF Farsa, but okay, there we go. The Zeusine already appearing into the hands of Icy Paradise again. Oh, okay, they just wanna go ahead the early into the mid game though, and I think the Zeusine does well against the Selena into the clearing wise as well. But then again, you're gonna be so squishy, you're gonna be needing a little bit of a Purify or a Flicker to try to survive the already picked heroes coming out from the side of 7Seas Esports here. But you know, 7Seas, I think maybe there's a possibility that they are just sticking for comfort here, because I still think the Selena is too early. But still, maybe they have some strategies that they are working on right now.
I'm just happy to see the the Zushin man, well, of course. But I think it's a very reminiscent of previous season. The Zushin Hylos combo, it was basically the top pick last season, especially at the beginning, because of course you combine the slow with the Glorious Pathway, the ramp, and then you have the Zushin coming in with the Lantern Flare. You're basically making the enemy completely immobilized. They cannot move, they get picked up, and it's an easy target for the Green Jet to just finish it off. But of course the Hylos has been adjusted a little bit, but so has the Katot Kacha. So both of these tanks are not exactly the tankiest right now, but at the same time they are strong enough. But that's the thing, you know, shredders, both of these, the Granger can shred very well, but the Kimi though, that's a lot of magic damage into the hands of 7Seas Esports. So that basically means that the Hylos is just going to be prioritizing that Radiant Armor, and he's going to be making sure to get that damage reduction, and he will survive most of Kimi's mid-game damage. Unless the Kimi tries to rush the Divine Glaive, she's going to be facing trouble into those team fights. So that's something that they really need to look forward to. But I'm just happy to be seeing this Zushin man, definitely, because right now this season people have been like, hey, Zushin got nerfed, she's not that best, but I think her capabilities to basically pick off, it's really good. It's still good. And of course, the Fred and Ben.
I'm skeptical about is that they go for the Kimi goal, because you do want to have the attack speed scaling, a very good scaling hero into the later part of the game, but we'll never know what they're gonna be having, because the Selena doesn't really have the massive damage into the early game, and I think they just want to cover that with the Kimi into the goal, or maybe we'll see since it too, we'll never know. But Icy Paradise, they have to ban away the Fredrin here, and so the jungle bans are gonna be coming through for both of these teams. 7Seas already taking away the Rosa as well as the Trio, and I do understand that the Rosa is more compatible with the jungle buff that he received, because he hasn't been able to find the good footing into the gold lane side. It's just he's more successful into the jungle, so it's very understandable that they have to ban this away. But look at the ban coming through from Icy Paradise, another jungle being banned away, so they just narrowing down the choices for 7Seas Esports, even though they are actually also the one who's gonna have to pick away their jungle too. So are we gonna see an assassin for 7Seas? But I'm actually thinking they could go for the utility here.
Light me up and watch the world burn!
There are a lot of distractions for him, maybe.
I was honestly expecting to see an Xborg because they need a Shredder. They knew that they need someone to melt that HP, and obviously that is basically true damage. They cannot go for the carry, of course. They already have their gold laner. They can't really go for the Alpha because he gets heavily countered out by the Hylos and the Zushin combo. So they needed someone to obviously have some form of immunity, and Xborg basically ticks off those boxes. True damage, you got it. Range, you got it once the Firak armor is gone, and obviously you are immune, you can dive in. But obviously here comes the weakness as well. He is prone to poking, he is prone to losing his armor and becoming a squishy, vulnerable target. So that is something they need to take into account for. And then I absolutely agree with you. I feel like banning out so many junglers, they also kind of choke themselves in, because I feel like the Roger was a really good option for themselves to pick it up for, but I think they just didn't want to take the risk, perhaps. A little questionable though, because they did have the first pick after the ban, right? So maybe they just wanted the Xborg either way and did not want the Roger to go. So overall, good things overall. But still, the Lancelot's going to be coming in, which is pretty good because he has 2 squishy targets that he can come down to. And once the Xbox armor is gone, it's basically the Lancelot's game. Just shred it with the Phantom Execution. And of course, there's also Arlott gonna give out the CC. That's gonna be very crucial overall for the team. They have Icy Paradise so far. They definitely have a much better lineup, at least at this point. Let's see if 7Seas Esports, their last pick, can change the fate of the game because okay, it's gonna go for the CC. They're really making sure that they have the HP shredders, the people who can melt down the Hylos and the Arlott, and they don't face any issues. But it's gonna be a very Kimi and Selena oriented game then, because the mid game to late game, it's basically the Selena has to control the early pace and the Kimi for the late.
Yep, that's very understandable though, and I think still I think they have a better lineup even with the presence of the CC right now, because even in the lane the CC wins against the Arlott of course, but if you are gonna go, I mean if you are gonna have to count in team fights, the Arlott has much more greater pressure and value than the CC here as of now, because I think for a moment 7Seas doesn't have any kind of disturbance that can just try to shut down onto this Lancelot as of now, because he's always gonna be able to dive into the backline, and the only reliable CC is the Gatot Dawn here.
Absolutely, Debbie. And right now we're going to be seeing the execution into the Land of Dawn. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the True Internationals. As you can see on your screen, it's going to be best of 1 series between 7Seas Esports and Icy Paradise. And this is a do or die. We're mentioning it again because we're going to be seeing the first team that's going to get eliminated out of the competition. And let's see how it goes, right? Intercasting, that's myself, Ray, and I'm gonna be joined by, of course, this lady over here, Debbie. And we're already gonna be seeing the the roamers providing vision to one another. Nothing much action until the early game. Much into the early game. No Lapo action today, so we're gonna be seeing the Arlott and the CC matching up.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a highly rotatable lane as well, but the bot side though, Ringa did have to steal away the goal. But into the mid lane as well, there's a little bit of a better clearance for the side of 7Seas Esports, just because they were, able to rotate together. This is going to be a freeze. I'm seeing right now Nico just trying to deny as many minions as possible, and the top lane as well. This is going to be a win condition. This is a winning side for the side of 7Seas Esports, and the thing is, when the Kimi and the Granger leads together, they do have a similar kind of range into the level 4 part. But the thing is, we never know because
already we're gonna be seeing the first engage, possibly the first blood might just come in because the Zushin's got gonna Strawberry will get pushed back, but right now Xborg obviously trying to make a trade-off but will not be able to do so. But first blood goes into the hands of Demon King. I told you, man, my wife Zushin, she's still broken. You gotta pay respect to that. But overall, the turtle's gonna spawn in 2 seconds.
Yep, and it's gonna be very crucial for one of these teams to try to get for this turtle too, because Xbox does need to have that early game also. But the thing is, already Demon King got a first kill, and onto the Lancelot as well. He's gonna be having all the
already into the casting, the Phantom Execution comes in, and they're gonna be able to get the turtle for themselves. The soup is already been cooked, but the team fight from the Arlott, he still wants to go win, but will have to go back right now. The Zushin with the Cosmic Crimson Beacon will go in for another possible engage and gets Gale on that. Selena, I'm telling you people, Zushin is still broken, guys. My wife will forever remain broken. But yeah, jokes aside, we have to pinpoint the things over here because we can clearly see the score is 2-4-0. Oh, Gatot getting a little bit of poke from the Hylos. But yeah, overall, Arlott and CC, I feel like it's a 50-50. Either of them can win the lane, but if Arlott goes in for that minion kind of an engage, stacks up the minion with his passive and the final slash, I think he will win out. Granger, I think, wins out against the Kimi because Granger can poke much, Kimi only has one ultimate, but Granger, he can just keep spamming that until the Kimi is forced to go back, right? Into the jungling, we can clearly see the Lancelot has much better securing time because Xborg is just really not the best choice to go for. Obviously a steal, unless he decides to go in for the last Insanity and Retribution combo. That is the only thing, but that basically makes him an easy target until he gets the immortality though.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, the thing is, You know, when I really saw the XP laners have a little bit of a good rotation in comparison to the others, the one who rotates the most is gonna be having the advantage in the fights in the objective wise as well. But this time around, it's gonna be a dead man now. They are gonna be falling 1v1 time and again. Just the CC able to increase in the early in lane who just wanna go for fight time and again. But yeah, still for Icy Paradise, they should have a lot of momentum. Is that all?
Into the bottom lane, they're trying to dish out some damage, and right now Xborg will do the last insanity and will possibly take down, Burner will take down the Xborg with some burn damage, but oh, Granger, that is a little bit too aggressive, wouldn't you agree? Because the Kimi almost, for a second, almost missed it out, but the Granger will ultimately get taken down. Honestly, that was a very unnecessarily overly engaged, but there comes Zushin, wants to go in for a possible engage, wants to take down the Xborg by herself, but that is a risky move because she doesn't have enough damage right now, and the Lancelot all alone into a turtle pit, wants to secure for the turtle, which was also a bad decision. Right now, Icy Paradise has been making a few rash decisions, and right now they might just lose out the turtle, but the Kathbot comes in with the last second AOG, will have to forcefully go back. The Zushin staying at a very low HP, but oh, look at the Xborg, will have to secure the turtle perhaps, but no, the turtle gets reset. That is absolutely a very bad fate of events, but already the Arlord will get the revenge, will take the kill, and Granger immediately comes back and takes a revenge kill onto Tashi's sling. I think the Kimi overstayed her welcome. She should have went back because she was already low HP. Should not have stayed in the lane, and she will have to pay the price and will also lose out the turret. That is multiple losses. 7Cs had just gotten a win, but they threw it away.
I thought that they could have been a little bit of a comeback for them, a little bit of a stepping stone. But then again, Icy Paradise, the fight was too long that they were able to come back on it as well. The fight was already onto the hands of the police. How? What? The damage though? Wing was able to take down the Guslet Cutter in the mid lane, and they might fight for Guslet.
He got 20 stacks on the Skypiercer, and he's only going to be building towards more. The Kimi does get the concentrated energy, but she's still behind one item from the Granger. The rest of them are building their first priority items. The gold laner, of course, will have the advantage being the rich guy, but we'll soon find out enough. But oh, okay. Looks like the Zushin is obviously going to be defeating the Selena in the gold department, because we can clearly see the Zushin is leading number 4, and the EXP lane is also leading very well. But right now that positioning from Zushin quite aggressive, but that does give them a little bit of a window to possibly engage. Right now the Hylos has to go back. They are trying to play a lot of poking game.
And I think this is what you want to do when you have a season as well, because you're going to see team fight smash onto just one hand, but they might not try to compete or contest or go for a fight for it, because I think they are actually Icy Paradise, they are actually doing really good into the objective wise as well, because they already gotten the top and the bot lane through, but the OG
pops in, and there's the ultimate coming into traction, will pull him back, and Moon will be taken down alongside Nico. They should have been able to see this out, because they did have the resources to disengage, but looks like they were caught a little bit offhand. But the damage from Wink will take them down in a blink, and right now a lot of damage being dished out. Granger has to go back, and the targets have been falling left and right. Demon King will fall, and looks like this time around it's getting really hard for them, because this hurdle is basically a free one for the hands of Team 7C's Esports.
Yeah, this has to be the chance for them to have a little bit of a comeback, because right now there's no Lancelot onto the side of Ice Paradise, but look at Stando Marcy taken very low onto this, just one stun, and the damage coming through from Kimi though, but oh, look at that.
Zushin has to forcibly go back with the Crimson Beacon, cannot really engage anymore, but looks like the side of 7C's Esports, they're finally able to bounce back. Their damage department is clicking in, and the only thing that's stopping them right now is a Granger, but even then, looks like the side of Icy Paradise will have to come in with a proper response. They have to use the resources properly, because right now they're getting melted down, and oh, a possible invasion into that blue buff, purple buff. They want to make sure they get it from the Lancelot over here, and let's see, how does it go? AOG into the Zushin will be able to crack down with the taunt. They waste so many resources, but the flicker will get baited out. I feel like the Zushin could have used it a little bit early, or maybe not used it at all, because she would have eventually met her doom, right? So a lot of resources already being wasted out. Looks like the side of 70 Esports, they have cracked the code. 5 men engaged coming in. Lancelot might just be the next guy, and it is. Demon King was taunted. The Gatot is doing overtime into that crowd control department, and right now he might just get punished over here because he's getting stuck by that glorious pathway. Mega kill for Wink, and looks like the side of Icy Paradise have cracked down the code as well. They need to take down this Gatot. Strawberry is being a menace and being annoying, not just the Zushin, to the Lancelot, to the Mercy on this Arlot. They gotta make sure that Gatot falls first.
Even though he's a tanky frontliners this time around, I think they have to really focus on him too. And I think they have the ability to do it because Icy Paradise does have Wing onto four kills already. He's got the Malefic gun too. Malefic Roar, I mean. So that's definitely going to be a little bit of a penetration onto his side. Not just a little bit, but I think he will be able to do so. But yeah, the Sky Piercer is already built up too. So this is something they have to focus on. But look at Hylos though.
Hylos over here goes in for a possible engage. The EOG also pops in. The Sun doesn't really land into anyone, but the Arlord wants to go in for a possible engage. The final slash comes in, but not enough damage. The Granger is trying to dish out, but it's just not enough. The side of 70s Esports is going back, but there's a Jushin coming in with the pull, but the Xborg will survive at the nick of HP, and so is the CC. Both of the teams going trade blows for blows, but they're still surviving, and looks like it is going a little bit hard for the hands of Icy Paradise, but they do have the goal lead. Funny enough, they are leading because they have pushed down the bottom lane completely.
Yeah, and this is the objective we're talking about, and I think this is this law is gonna be very necessary for 7C's Esports to try to take it, because already they got the Holy Crystal into the hands of the Kimi, so he's gonna be such a good damage dealer. On top of that, he's got the concentrated energy too. So that's a spell vamp for Kimi. He's gonna be healing up too. But right now, Icy Paradise doing such a really good job in trying to chase away and get back their momentum onto the map, onto the side of the Lord as well. I think there's not much of an opening right now for 7Cs to try to go for a fight, but they do have the Gacha without the Revitalize, so they have to be a little bit careful right now than they are before. But look at Xbox though, just being a man is able to chunk down the HPs of Icy Paradise because he's already gotten the War X, right? So 2 War X onto the side of 7Cs. The Hylos is not going to be having a greater time here.
The Lord engage possibly going to be coming up really soon, and we'll get the results. So the Hylos goes in with the glorious pathway. They really want to make sure that the Kimi will be the first one to be falling, but the AOG also falls in as well. Right now the Gatot is going ham, but looks like he's going to be the first one to be falling because Unstoppable comes in from Wink, but Travis here will take down the Zushin, and the Xborg really wants to go in for the last Insanity to steal, but no, you cannot take it from Demon King, who gets it with the Retribution and takes him down as well. And right now the next target will be Travis, a shutdown. Demon King is being an absolute demon over here because he gets the kills, and right now Arlott might just give him the last one. The final slash will miss out, but Killing Spray, the whole side of 7C's Esports will get taken down. A full wipeout as they also secure the Lord. It looks like Icy Paradise is finally able to bounce back and give a proper response from that engage that was coming in from 7C's.
Yeah, look at that. So the position of the Granger right here was able to free hit so perfectly well, even to the point that it was chasing onto the Selena to the backside when there's no CC that could try to stop him. And even Demon King with the perfect retribution was able to walk in there and get a kill for himself too. And this is going to be a little bit of a stepping stone for Icy Paradise. Not just a stepping stone, but there's a way for them to try to get all the advantages of this Lord right now. And looking at the build so far, they have just Selena is just struggling just a little bit with the builds here. He's not gonna be having the best damage so far, but look at that AOZ though.
AOG pops in, but right now, okay, a lot of damage being dished out. The Gatot will get stuck over here because he's trying to do something, but right now the damage is there for the Granger. Double kill secured already for Wink. This marksman is going absolutely ham over here, but oh, look at the Phantom Execution comes in. The Kimi will get executed out of the map. The next target will be falling, and right now it is a full wipe out, and the side of Team Icy Paradise will get this victory clean and swift. I just noticed one thing though. The side of Icy Paradise, their Hylos, did not have any magic defense until the last minute. That is...
Yeah.
Not too sure about that, because like, are they trying to flex it, or did they miss out? Because Kimi, Selena, that's two magic damage, bro. But overall, other than that, I feel like their performance was good, especially considering their draft was better, and obviously they had the Granger. Kimi, I feel like she's the best suited in the mid lane, especially into the tournament scene. Yeah, you can play her in the goal lane, but it's very situational. It can only work against marksmen who cannot poke her out of oblivion, and Granger is the one that pokes you out of oblivion. So I feel like the goal lane matchup was not fair for the hands of 7Seas Esports, and